Jersey City's transformation didn't happen in a vacuum. Behind the cranes and construction sites, behind the rezoning maps and tax abatement policies, there's a deeper story. One about the forces that actually enabled this boom, the local resistance that nearly stopped it, and the fragile coalition that keeps it all moving forward. Because here's what most people miss when they look at Jersey City's success. The policies were just part of it. What really made the difference was how power shifted, who won, who lost, and why the whole thing almost collapsed before it even started. Most cities talk about housing. Jersey City actually built it. But the mechanics of how that happened, the trade-offs that were made, and the backlash that followed, those details matter. Especially now, as New York and other cities study this playbook. So what really happened behind the scenes? And could your city do the same? The standard narrative goes like this. Mayor Fulop came in, relaxed zoning, developers built towers. And Jersey City boomed. Simple. Except it was not simple at all. Before a single new apartment opened, the city had to dismantle decades of entrenched opposition. That fight revealed something fundamental. The barriers are not just technical or financial, they are political. If you are finding this breakdown useful, hit that like button and subscribe. We are diving deep into the policies reshaping American cities, and there is a lot more coming. In 2013, when Fulop took office, Jersey City's planning board was dominated by neighborhood voices that had spent years blocking development. A proposal from 2012 for a 30-story tower near Grove Street Path Station took 3 years just to clear preliminary approvals. By the time it was ready to break ground, financing had evaporated. Fulop's administration did not just tweak the process, they rewired it. In 2014, the city adopted a new master plan that pre-approved height and density around transit nodes. Developers no longer needed case-by-case variances for every floor. If you were within a quarter mile of a path station and met design standards, you could build tall without a fight. This shift did not sit well with everyone. A 2016 town hall meeting turned heated when residents accused the administration of prioritizing developer profits over longtime families. One speaker, a retired teacher who had lived in Jersey City for 40 years, put it bluntly, "You are turning us into Manhattan's bedroom, and we did not ask for that." But Fulop did not back down. Instead, the city doubled down on the pilot system, funneling abatement money into exactly the neighborhoods that felt left behind. Between 2015 and 2020, the West Side saw $200 million in infrastructure upgrades, new parks, road repairs, and school expansions, all funded by payments from luxury towers downtown. By 2018, something unexpected happened. Polls showed that a majority of Jersey City residents, even in traditionally skeptical neighborhoods, supported continued development as long as it came with community benefits. The city had managed to turn what could have been a full-scale political backlash into cautious acceptance. Now, let us talk about the developers themselves. Jersey City's boom was not just about removing obstacles. It was about creating conditions where building made financial sense. By allowing massive density and streamlining approvals, the city made it possible to spread fixed costs across far more units. Take the Journal Square area. In 2015, a developer paid $12 million for a half-acre parcel near the Path Station. Under the old zoning, they could have built maybe 80 units. Under the new rules, they got approval for 750 units. The project opened in 2019, and within 6 months, 90% of units were leased. Jersey City also became one of the fastest cities in the region for permitting. A well-prepared application could move from submission to approval in under 6 months. Compare that to New York, where similar projects routinely take 2 to 3 years. By cutting that timeline in half, Jersey City made projects viable that would have been marginal elsewhere. Let's shift to affordability, because this is where Jersey City's story gets complicated. On paper, adding 26,000 housing units in a decade should ease price pressure, and in some ways, it has. Vacancy rates rose from under 2% in 2015 to nearly 6% by 2024. Rents dropped 9% year over year in 2024, with one-bedroom apartments down 17%. But zoom out and the picture darkens. Between 2015 and 2023, the median rent for a market-rate one-bedroom jumped from $1,800 to $2,700, a 50% increase. For households earning below the area median income, about 60% of Jersey City residents, the new supply barely touched their reality. Most of the new housing is market rate, aimed at young professionals commuting to Manhattan. Market rate development does not require subsidies. It pays for itself and generates tax revenue. But for families earning $40,000 or $60,000, the boom feels distant. They see cranes, they see luxury lobbies, but they do not see apartments they can afford. Infrastructure is where Jersey City's boom has hit its hardest limits. When 50,000 new residents arrive in a decade, systems designed for a smaller population strain. The PATH train is at capacity during rush hours. Schools have leased temporary buildings and crowded students into gymnasiums for classes. These infrastructure gaps reveal a hard truth. Building housing is necessary, but not sufficient. So, what does all this mean for New York? Mayor Mamdani's interest in Jersey City is not idle curiosity. New York faces a housing crisis that makes Jersey cities look modest. Vacancy rates are under 2%, rents have doubled in a decade, and homelessness is at record highs. But can New York actually replicate this? To match Jersey City's per capita production, New York would need to build 600,000 units in a decade. That is more than the city has built in the last 30 years combined. Still, the principles could translate. Upzoning near transit could unlock tens of thousands of units. Streamlining approvals would make a massive difference. The biggest obstacle is not technical, it is political. New York's neighborhoods are organized, vocal, and deeply skeptical of development. Community boards have real power. Unlike Jersey City, where Fulop could bypass opposition by pre-approving density, New York's system gives every local group a veto. Mamdani seems to understand this. He has talked about building a coalition, linking housing production to transit investment, school funding, and neighborhood improvements. Essentially, recreating the bargain Fulop struck: accept growth, get benefits. Whether New York's fractured politics allow, that remains to be seen. Jersey City's story is still being written. The boom has slowed slightly, but the pipeline remains robust. Thousands of units are under construction. The question now is whether the city can hold the coalition together, keep building, and address the gaps before backlash derails progress. For other cities watching, the lessons are clear. Housing abundance is achievable, but it requires bold leadership and a willingness to make trade-offs. Jersey City built a lot of housing. It eased some pressures and revitalized a struggling city. But it did not eliminate inequality or make life affordable for everyone. What Jersey City proved is that inaction is a choice, and usually the worst one. For decades, American cities have strangled housing supply with restrictive zoning and endless reviews. The result has been soaring costs and a generation priced out of homeownership. Jersey City chose a different path. It is messy and imperfect, but it is also a reminder that cities have more power than they think. When they decide to build, they can. To help us keep the videos coming your way, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.